Hey guys, I hope you're having a great day, and today I will be doing a book haul and a book on haul. The reason is that I have made the conclusion that, well, with my boyfriend, he helped a lot and we got to the conclusion that if I bought books, whenever a book would come into the house, another book would have to come out of the house. And if you've seen my last video, you will see that these are my new bookshelves that I made myself. Well, I did one out of the three, but I did one. And as you can see, they're already pretty full, and I have even doubled up the books, so some of them are behind other books and you cannot see them, so it's something. I bought a box of books for $12, so that was so cheap. I could not resist buying them, just because there's a series in this that I had been planning on buying, and if I had bought them new, it would have been like $30, and I had the whole box for $12, so it was a sale. I could not take it. Of course, I will not be keeping all of these books because I don't think that I'm interested into all of them, but the ones I will be keeping will be the number of books that I will have to get rid of. And I also recently went to the thrift bookstore and I bought two other books. So first of all, I bought this French book called Rue by Kim Thuy, and she's a Vietnamese immigrant, and this is her story of the boat people from Vietnam who escaped in boats to, well, escape and immigrate to the, not necessarily to the US, but like in North America in general. I have read it, but it's been like years, and I really do want to reread this story because it is a true story, and I am really fascinated by everything in these subjects. The second book that I bought is a saga, so it has the 3 books in the series in one, which was $10, so I could not resist not taking it. And it is a Quebec author, so it is in French and it was not translated, I think, in English, but it is Dragonville. It is basically about a Chinese family that immigrated in Montreal, Quebec in 1910, so a long time ago, and it was all about how they immigrated and how their family struggled to get by at the beginning. And I think it has a love story somehow in this, and just the fact that, well, first of all, this cover is beautiful. The spine, I love it. I'm just really interested into reading more Asian-based novels. I know the author is not Asian, but it is an Asian story, and I will start somewhere. Alright, so let's get into the box. We have, first of all, Will Grayson by John Green and David Levithan. And I have never read actually this book. I have read all of the books by John Green except for this one, and I was actually looking forward to $40. What the hell? What? I've been meaning to read this book because it is the last one by John Green that I still haven't read, and I've heard great things about it. And I do like this cover. I think it's really nice. Purple is really great, and I didn't like the cover with the faces, so this is a maybe pile. No, well, I'm gonna put it in like a more like a yes, but still a maybe pile. Next up, we have The Beginning of Everything by Robin Schneider. This, oh my god, I saw this book like 6 years ago, I believe, on BookTube for the first time, and everybody was saying that it was super good. Alright, so we have Ezra, who's an athlete, but he has an accident and he cannot longer play whatever it was that he did, and he finds himself at a table of misfits, because that is the worst part of high school, being a misfit. And he meets this girl called Cassidy, who is unlike anyone Ezra's ever met. Oh gosh, this is going to be so cliche and Okay, the beginning of everything, because they meet and then everything happens. It's going into the maybe pile, but not the maybe yes pile, the maybe pile, because I'm not sure I will enjoy that story as much as I would have 6 years ago, so we'll see. We also have, oh gosh, so dirty. All right, you're beautiful again. We have Finding Audrey by Sophie Kinsella, and this I have heard great things about, but I don't know what it is about. Okay, she has an anxiety disorder. She wears dark glasses whenever she feels the need to protect herself. She's also making slow but steady progress with Dr. Sarah. Then she meets Linus. Okay, so they tell the whole story. As their friendship deepens and her recovery gains momentum, a sweet romantic connection develops, one that helps not just Audrey but also her entire family. So, do we have a plot point? Is she going to go downhill somewhere? I'm not sure that I want to read this, just because I thought it was, I don't know what I thought it would be, but I'm just not into, oh! I'm gonna put it in the maybe pile, but in the maybe yes pile, because I would lean more towards this book than the beginning of everything, but I'm not keeping both. That is for sure. Okay, so here I have a series that I did not plan on ever buying because I have read it and I didn't plan on buying it. So I don't know if I'm going to keep it. Maybe I will give it away, maybe to you guys, I don't know. So I have the entire Hunger Games collection, the series in hardback, which is valued for a lot, even though it's a little bit messy. I still think that it has a lot of potential. I do remember liking the series, and I remember liking the books better than the movies. So maybe I would like to revisit that series at some point. I don't know. It's a hard decision because it's 3 books. So this is 3 books that I have to get rid of if I take these ones. So we'll see how it goes. There are so many things in the book that I preferred than in the movies, so I don't know what I'm going to do. Ooh, this is nice. This is nice. It's all black, so I'm guessing that the other ones match their color cover. Indeed, it's not as shiny as the first one, but it's fine. Oh, there we go. It's shinier, so this one is cool. I don't know what I'm going to do, guys, honestly, so I'm going to put them aside because I don't know what to do. Finally, we have arrived at the series I was actually buying for $12, and it is the Selection series. There is an adaptation that will be coming when, we don't know, but Netflix is going to adapt this series into a Netflix series. I think it's going to be a series. I hope they're not movies, but I think it's going to be a series. And so I really wanted to read the books again to put myself back into the story of the Selection. And yeah. Oh, by the way, I started reading The Betrothed, and I didn't read the reviews when I started reading the book, and then I started reading reviews and I was like, oh, okay, maybe it won't be that bad. I have 3 hours left of this book to listen to, and I think I will just do it at some point just to do it, but yeah, not my favorite. So I do want to revisit the Selection series just because I know it's going to be good, and I know that this is Kiera Cass' golden work. So I love that series, and I don't even remember like everything that happens in the book, so it's going to be almost like a new story for me to read. Alright, so I'm gonna go get my books that I decided to unhaul already, and we'll see how much books I can keep. Alright, so the basic thing that I do when I choose what to unhaul and not to unhaul is basically, if I haven't read them— oh my god, there's a huge spider! For sake. Oh gosh, oh my god.
One eternity later.
Are there any more spiders? Because I will die if there are any more. Okay. Sorry about that. We'll start again. So, what I was saying if I still haven't read the series or the book, I will look at them, and if they don't bring me any excitement, I don't think I will ever read them, so I unhaul them. And if I have read them, the basic thing I tell myself is, would I recommend this series or this book to someone and lend them that book? I know that some people don't like to lend books to people. I'm also a bit that person, but at the same time, if I can trust that person, I will lend books. But I'm not going to keep books that I don't intend on recommending to other people. First of all, I have 2 marketing books that I bought because of school that were recommended readings, and I did not read them. So I'm not going to be keeping them because I don't intend on reading them now that I have finished my bachelor. So I have Way of the Wolf by Jordan Belfort. This is a influencer's book. What? This is a book about mastering the art of persuasion, influence, and success. So what marketers do basically, and I wanted to read it because I wanted to get more insight on what I would do with my life, but I am not interested anymore. This, I have Confessions of a Public Speaker by Scott Birkin, and I wanted it because I wanted to help myself do oral presentations, and I did not end up reading it in time, so I don't need it anymore. It's hard, but I will be parting with the Serafina duology just because if you've seen on my Goodreads page, I have started reading Shadow Scale, and I had been reading this book for like months on end, and I did not made much progress throughout time. And the main reason was that I was not interested into the story, the main plot of Serafina just traveling around and trying to find the other half dragons, and I was not interested. I gave up on this book like a month ago, so yeah. And when I saw this series on my shelves, I was like, would I recommend this series? I would recommend the first book, but not the second, so I think it's pretty pointless for me to keep these books. And I'm not a fan of the covers. I really liked the original ones, and for some reason, these ones came when I bought them, so that was a mistake. I'm going to give up The Rain by Virginia Burgeon. This is a duology, and I have never read the second book, and I have no intention of reading the second book because I read this like 5 years ago and I don't remember much of it. So if I would want to read the second book, I would have to reread this one, and I have no intention of doing so, and I would not recommend it to someone because I have not read the second book. And unfortunately, I will be parting with the Red Queen series because I loved the first and the third book, but the second and the fourth were disappointing. I did not like the ending of the series, and the main story was really interesting. I really loved the first book, but the second and the third that I have here, they don't mean anything to me. I don't have the fourth because I borrowed it at a library when it came out. But yes, so yeah, I will have 3 more spaces in my bookshelf because I'm getting rid of these books. If you do want one of these books, just tell me down below, and the first person who wants a book, you will get it. I'm not, it's not hard. Shipping is like $10, so you would pay the shipping, I guess. I'm not trying to sell them at all, so if you are interested in the book, just tell me down below and give me like your email address so we can contact each other. So yeah. Alright, so in the books that I'm giving away, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11! This is good. Oh my gosh, I can keep all my books almost. I only have 2 books that I can keep between 3 of them, and I think I will just keep neither. I will keep none. So I will keep the Hunger Games series, the Selection series, Finding Audrey and Will Grayson, and the 2 books I had already bought. Now I have to put them in my shelves, which is going to be a hassle because I just all placed them, but I will do it again because that's how we do it. Yeah. So let me give you a tour because in my last video I just showed you how I placed, but I'm going to show you now why. So at the first we have my Shatter Me series. So look how beautiful they are. So we have all the paperbacks here, and I have the 2 hardbacks that I own with my little Mad Hatter pop. Here I have my duology, well, it's not a duology, but it's the 2 books by Mark Manson, The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F and Everything is F'd. Here I have a Polaroid camera. I have a little heart that my boyfriend made me. Let me focus that. It is really cute. You can rotate it, and at some point it becomes that shape. He just need to create something that it can hold like this. Picture of my family, which I will not show too much, and I have also a dactylo, which I am in love with. Look at it, how cool it is. It's so ancient. I just need to clean it because it is functionable. Alright, so we start from here. We start from left to right with the books that I have already read. So we have the the Grisha trilogy with the Hunger Games series trilogy also, and behind we have other books that I have read, but I just want to show these ones because they were my favorite. Here we have the same thing with the continuation. Oh, all of my books are in author's last name alphabetical order. So here we have Eon and Iona, the Selection trilogy. Behind we have the Splinter series, and we have some other books here. Moving on to here, I have all of my vinyls collection, and I don't have that many, but I do intend on having a great collection. Here we have the other books by Tahira Mafi. I am planning on buying all of her books, so this is why it's like a little bit empty, because I keep place for all of her next books. Here we have the Lunar Chronicles. Behind I have some Morgan Madson's books, but I wanted to show them because they are my favorite series of all time, right after the Shatter Me series. And here I have the Percy Jackson series with the Hate You Give that I put in as a beautiful little setup. Starting from here, these are all of my books that I still have not read and are also in alphabetical order with the author's last name. The books here that I showcase are the books that I either really love the cover or I think will be my favorites when I will read them. So here I have Six of Crows because it is part of the Grisha series, and I am obviously going to love this, I am sure. In the back it's just stuff, so it's not really that important, but all of the last row will have boxes so that we can keep like stuff that we don't know where to put in boxes, and so it doesn't show like this. So here I have the books in alphabetical order until there, and it continues until here. This one right here is like all the non-fiction books that I don't really know where to put, but it makes a whole bookshelf, so it's going to be fine. Well, not a bookshelf, but like a box, so it's fine. I have some neuroscience books, I have some religious books, I have like a book about Taoism, another one about Buddhism. I'm really interested in those kind of things, so I have all of this, and I also have the Brothers Grimm's fairy tales, the stories, so that's why they're all here. Just under I have all of my graphic novels. I do not have a lot, I know, but here is all of my other graphic novels, but in French, so I have way more than that. This is my boyfriend's box, which I don't know what they are, but I think they are like D&D books. And here I have my classic books that I mostly still haven't read, and I have to do that. But I really like to showcase them because they are part of the same collection, so they are all identical height and they match together, so this is really nice. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Give it a like, comment down below what you think about the books that I bought, what you think about the books that I unhauled. If you want any of them, as I said, just tell me down below and we'll contact each other to see if I can send them to you. If any of you are interested, I will see you guys next week with a new video. Goodbye.